Again, these two played a solid game last year where it was close going into the fourth quarter, and a couple of late goals by the Hoyas helped blow it open and come home comfortable. Again, a miserably wet and rainy day last year in Richmond. Today, the skies are clear, but it is very windy out there. We'll see if it affects either team as we have a violation, and that'll be Richmond ball to start things off.
You're going to watch the face-off dot today, Jeremy. Riley's come on strong, especially last week against Princeton. The stats didn't show it, but he really had a good day at the face-off dot.
Yeah, last week 52%, but got what they needed from Riley in that contest. Here comes O'Neal, standout freshman.
He's got a short stick matchup with Will Godine right away.
And that is going to beat Michael Scharfenberger. Scharfenberger got the start last week, but O'Neal with the quick tally and Richmond on the board, 1-0.
Took advantage right there of getting the short stick matchup against Will. Little dodge at X, comes around left-handed and scores.
So Richmond gets the 1-0 lead, and again, that's somewhat what helped Georgetown last week was in that contest, got off to a fast start. Eventually Princeton caught up to them, but did not get an early hole like we've seen them against Notre Dame, also against Penn. Riley with a clean win.
Yeah, one of the things Riley did well last week, Jeremy, is when the Hoyas did go on their run where they scored 3 or 4 in a row, Riley won the faceoffs too. They were playing a little make it, take it there in the second quarter.
That's one thing Kevin Warren told us. He said, look, Riley's winning a lot of the clamps and the rakes. It's that part 2 where you got to get to safety and get the offense started.
Yeah, exactly.
McDermott up to MINICUS. And now DORDEVIC going to work. DORDEVIC takes the shot and scores as Tucker DORDEVIC on the board. Hoyas tied up.
It's one thing you can't give Tucker, Jeremy, and I've talked to you about this before. It's the paint in basketball. It's that middle of the field. If Tucker gets a step on you there, he can rip the ball from 12 yards out. So, as a defender, you want to try to turn him back, force him down the alley. But Tucker's first step, he's so quick that he gets the advantage a lot of times on those D-middies and the long poles.
And talking to Kevin Warren, he said to us, look, one of the things we're working on with Tucker is taking the best shot for Georgetown lacrosse. Maybe other places you've been, it's different. This is what we're looking for from you. Can we get that? And it looks like last week against Princeton and they're doing a better job of it.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite saying is don't take the first shot, take the best shot.
Loose ball still, batted around. That's going to end up with the Hoyas.
It's been one of the things I've said to you all year, Jeremy. There are no rules on faceoffs. I just saw about 3 or 4 slashes and a couple of pushes. I think the refs got to have to decide who that ball went off of.
And now Richmond ball after the conference.
I like that the refs came together, though. The one guy was very definitive in his answer, but the other guy talked him out of it.
So brought back in by Grayum. Of course, Grayum had such a tough season last year, scored a goal on his first shot of the season and got hurt in that game, didn't play again the rest of the year.
Yeah, Coach made a point to point that out, that he's just has a big impact on their offense.
Here's Tazwell. Trying to get some open space. Double comes. Hoyas get back. Leary was on the guard. Here's Bowen working against Young. Saw that a couple weeks ago against Notre Dame where Bowen had to match up with a smaller guy. A little bit of trouble. There's a shot off the pipe. Merklinger had Scharfenberger beats, but ended up finding orange.
Goalie's best friend, Jeremy.
Most definitely, Earl. Georgetown keeps the Spiders off the board. They'll go for the lead here.
That was a great look inside. Somebody lost their man right there on the crease.
Here's BUNDY. He'll give it up. This is the freshman Ray. And Kevin Warren telling us the good thing about Ray is that they're able to bring him in and give incredible backup minutes to keep some of his top guys fresher.
Yeah, they believe in Jordan here too. He's got a short stick matchup. Most of these guys, Jeremy, played attack sometime in high school or on their club team. So going behind for them's a luxury.
DORDEVIC, he's off the pipe, loose ball, and eventually scooped up. And now the Spiders should be okay, though the Hoyas riding hard. Nice ground ball by Fabian.
Yeah, that was Jeremy. He had 4 Georgetown Hoyas around him. He still managed to come up with a ground ball.
There goes Stull getting it across, and now Richmond will set up their offense. Spiders, of course, this is an interesting matchup. The Georgetown offensive coordinator, John Hogan, was with Richmond last year, or coming north to get with Georgetown. We'll see if that pays any dividends for either team today. O'Neal working out.
Yeah, Coach Chamati said that now, you know, he's really taken over the offense. He's really their offensive coordinator now with the loss of Coach Hogan.
Young goes down, gets rid of it. Going to work is Madonna. That's Derrek Madonna, of course, the older brother in transfer, previously a standout at Hobart. Pass on the doorstep, a nice save there as Scharfenberger able to deny.
I think Michael might have taken that one off the thigh, Jeremy. I'm not sure. We don't have the benefit of replay today, but body position, good body position there, and that one will leave a mark later.
Yeah, he's not rubbing it, so that's a good sign for right now.
Goalies never do that, Jeremy. You know that.
At least not when everybody can see, and that's a pickoff. What a play by Halpert.
Nice play. Wallace stick in the lane. Perfect position.
Kind of looked like a Gibson Smith play right there, Earl.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Gibson used to do. One of the great things he did.
Nothing there. Big hit, and able to keep it as Hess. Trying to find a friendly. It does. Gets it over to McDermott.
Problem there with Richmond is he hit Hess. he's just a granite. He's a rock.
Yeah, Dylan Hess, the guy they've kind of changed his role a little bit. Kind of used him as a D-midi this year. Here's CROGAN. Nothing there. Now shoot, and that's wide of the cage. Stays with the Hogans off the Bundy shot.
Great little drive by Patrick right there. There's Jeremy. Drew one. Made a great pass for that shot.
MINICUS, and he'll go off the pipe. Chased down, and he'll stay with the Hoyas.
Amazing. You got a 6x6 net, Jeremy, and you can hit that little 3.5 or 4.5 inch pipe.
It is March Madness season, so I think we have to go with the iron unkind, as Tim Brando loves to say.
There you go.
And we've seen it a few times already today. Here's DORDEVIC, a little bit of space, doesn't take the shot, rolls in, shoots, that goes off a stick, and chased down by McDermott, but can't pick up the ground ball. And here come the Spiders the other way with Nugent. Transition chance, can they take advantage? Long pole shot, stopped by Scharfenberger.
Great save by Scharfenberger there. Poe had him one-on-one, cranked up with a bounce shot from outside, but good position. Michael was right there to make the save.
Hunter Smith from the defensive end coming down to take the shot. Richmond keeps possession, and shot clock at 50 in a quick moving 1-1 game so far. Going to work, shot Scharfenberger with another save.
It's going to be a break.
Run out chance for the Hoyas. Here comes Godine. Took him a little while to put that one up. Couldn't break as fast as he wanted. Shot, score as Godine finds Bundy. Hoyas had the lead 2-1.
Advantageous bounce there, Jeremy, off the pipe. Godine picks it up. They had a 6-on-5 going down. Will Drew, upfield slide from that defenseman. Drops it off right there, gets the assist. Something Will did so well last year. Doing it again this year. He leads us in transition, him and Leary both.
So Bundy with a goal. DORDEVIC with a goal. Hoyas on top. O'Neal with the marker for Richmond. Nice crowd here today.
Yeah, Richmond well represented. I mean, fairly short bus ride, right? About 2 hours. And there you have to drive through Fredericksburg, Virginia, which some people think is the end of the earth. But
of course, Richmond also has a few local players on this squad. Shot that saved as DORDEVIC let one try to go low against Vigu, who was up to the challenge.
Defenseman fell down there, Jeremy. I don't blame Tucker for taking that shot. I think coach would have liked to see him settle down the offense a little bit and get in their sets, but defenseman fell down. It's a shot you got to take.
DORDEVIC picks it off. Can he take the shot? Vigu gets back in the cage, a little unsettled. And And they take the shot. Vigu with the save. I don't know if Kevin Warren, that's what he wanted to see, as Haley took a quick one.
You know, a lot of coaches are okay with that, Jeremy, because that turned into basically a 4-on-3 or a 4-on-4. And I know a lot of coaches preach that that's a great time to go. There's less guys on the field, more room, but maybe Haley rushed that a little bit. He went to his right hand, maybe rushed it a bit.
Vigu, a bigger goalie. You were kind of wondering, could he get back into the cage in time? But he's got some quick feet, got back there and was set up. So Richmond will try and tie this one up after nearly going down by 2. There's Lance Madonna, all A10 preseason selection, joined by his brother this year. He's one of the few real big-time scorers, as Richmond lost a lot from last year. Madonna had 25 goals last season. Well, it's Ryan Lanchberry had 40 for the Spiders. In front, can't get it cleanly, but still scores as O'Neal with his second with a quick stick in the middle of the traffic. Richmond ties it up at 2.
You know, you talked about the turnover offensively for them, Jeremy. They brought in quite a few freshmen on their roster. I think counted 13 or 14 freshmen, and you know, some of these guys are seeing serious playing time too. O'Neal being one of those attackmen.
And that's one thing that Coach Chenoy did tell us, Earl. He said, look, we got depth, it's young, but the good thing for us is really from top of the depth chart to the bottom, these guys are all kind of interchangeable, so I feel comfortable putting them out there.
Yeah. And you well know, as Riley gets the clean face here.
There's DORDEVIC. And your point, Earl? I thought I had one for you, as you well know.
You threw me a softball right there, too,
That's
and
okay.
I totally struck out, Jeremy.
So on the field is Jacob Kelly, transfer from North Carolina. Hoyas have been big in the transfer portal.
Yeah, the 4 guys that came in really made a mark last week, Jeremy. 3 goals each from MINICUS and DORDEVIC. Big week for them last week against Princeton. A really entertaining game last week.
And one they really had to have and can be a starter, as that's picked off. Saunders getting in the passing lane, takes one intended for Bundy.
Saunders, a guy that Coach Chenoy spoke very highly of, big left-handed Canadian. One of the only grads on this team that see any time.
That pass handcuffs Young and ends up out of bounds, and Richmond is going to take a timeout, and we will as well, as the Hoyas and the Spiders tied at 2. 5:41 left to go here in our nation's capital, as Georgetown trying to get off to a good start here on the Hilltop.
Richmond's a tough school to get into,
Yep.
and it's pricey. So, you know, that can really affect your recruiting. But as you pointed out, Jeremy, you said the athletic department is really all behind their programs, try to get the best student athletes they can.
And that's one thing that adding in now is Bowen. He might take it to net and look like he got hit in the head, and they're going to call a violation there, so the Hoyas will get it back.
Richmond fans not liking it. Called a loose ball hold right there. Thought it was a good call.
Yeah, I saw some stick contact to the head. Would that normally draw a foul, or did I miss something?
Yeah, that you would think so, but the ball came loose, and here's CROGAN.
Here's CROGAN, gets rid of it, and that's a shot, and it'll be saved by Vigu.
I think CROGAN, Jeremy, he should have taken that shot. He made a couple nice moves. He really had a one-on-one with the goalie.
Got McDermott an open look, but it was from distance. Now Bundy getting up into the ride, as now Richmond gets it across, and they'll set up their offense. Yeah, back to Richmond and Coach Chenoy saying that one of the thing about the move to the A10 is that it really kind of opens some more doors for their program.
Definitely.
As opposed to their longtime association with the Southern Conference, where it was a Southern-based league. Being in the A10, Richmond gets into some real top-notch high school lacrosse markets when you talk about the power trio of Long Island, as well as the D.C. area and Baltimore. Some really good spots they're now in because of being in the A10.
Yes.
And it puts them in alignment with the rest of their athletic department that plays out of the A-10. So Spiders looking to take the lead. Here's Merklinger working against Leary. Not much there, down to 10 seconds. Up to the top. Here comes Young. And can he get a shot off in front? And that'll go wide, and that'll be a shot clock violation, Hoya ball.
Richmond is finding a guy open on that crease, Jeremy. I'm sure that's something Coach Warren's going to talk about at the quarter change. You know, it's like, how is that guy getting open, and whose guy is that? I mean, are we sliding too quickly? You know, maybe let's just bear down and play one-on-one lacrosse right here and don't be so quick to slide.
Yeah, Georgetown, as Kevin Warren said, against Princeton, played with some different energy, but he also mentioned the fact that they've been able to move some guys around in different spots, and everyone's kind of nodded and said, yeah, Coach, whatever you need me to do. And that's big, so if they have to change on the fly, you might see that today. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in our opening quarter. Here's Bundy off the DORDEVIC. Nice close there by Saunders. Saunders, a draft pick already. Under 30 on the shot clock. Leary going to X. Takes the shot, and that's stopped by Vigu.
You know, again, TJ Haley was drawing a short stick D midi there. We've seen some teams this year do that.
And that's one thing that you've pointed out that just hasn't been much of a shooting threat, and in the past, because he was able to distribute so well, wasn't an issue. But this year he scored his first point of the season last year with an assist.
We're just kind of hoping that opens the door, you know, for TJ, that he gets going and able to get back to the form he showed a year ago.
So Richmond again trying to take the lead. They have the first lead of the game, but unable to hold it. Hoya scored 2 quick ones. Young in front, tries to find Madonna. Bowen's there, loose ball. Donaldson tries to get a piece of it, still loose, and ends up out of bounds, and that'll be Hoya ball.
Smart play by Donaldson there too, Jeremy, knowing that ball was off Richmond. He ran to the sideline, kind of blocked out the Richmond guys from getting to the ball.
Two-two game as Hoya's going to go to work. Get that whole offensive group on the field. MINICUS comes on along with CROGAN. You mentioned CROGAN, of course, just a freshman, but has brought some energy to this team.
This is what he does well, Jeremy. He's so quick up top in his first touch. He's got his man beat now.
Gets off to DORDEVIC. DORDEVIC behind the cage, trying to find in front to Haley. Can't connect, but able to save it is MINICUS.
Very good look there inside.
There's Bundy. Tries to get his hands free over the top, but DORDEVIC's back there, so the Hoyas will keep it with 30 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, Graham playing at an attack when he does, he does manage to get a short stick matchup. That's a go signal. That's a green light for Graham.
DORDEVIC back over. CROGAN double teamed. DORDEVIC back out to the top in MINICUS. Down to 15 on the shot clock. Bundy's got some space. He shoots, and that'll go off of Vigu. Will stay with the Hoyas. 38 seconds on the game clock.
It's a great look by Graham. Vigu did a great job making that save, keeping his position. Didn't give up either pipe.
Looks like the Hoyas will take their time here. And Vigu has answered some of those early saves by Scharfenberger. He'll keep his team in it. Now, looks like DORDEVIC almost couldn't hear what they were trying to get, kind of put his hand up to his...
Windy day here, Jeremy, as we said. It's been a windy spring here at the D.C. area.
McDermott out to the top. Here goes Bundy. Down to 5. Got to get a shot off. Bundy takes it, and it will go through with 1 second left. And they'll toss it in and off of a helmet. And we will go to the end of the first quarter with our score tied at 2. Spiders and the Hoyas, a good start here in our nation's capital.
So back at the dot, it's Chenoy and Riley. And Chenoy Hoy trying to come up with it. Still loose. Looks like he's going to track it down, though. Tomanovich all over him. Eventually gets it out, and Richmond will go to work. For that face-off, even it up at 3-3.
Riley's always smart, though, at figuring out what the other guy is doing, Jeremy. So I'd look for him as we go later into the game, second half, to maybe figure out what Chenoy's doing that's working.
Sheridan running through. A little bit of open space. Shot not taken by Derrek Madonna. Talked about Derrek before, transferred from Hobart. And just a complete and utter standout up there. This is O'Neal. He has 2 already, the freshman. Derrek Madonna. He shoots and beats Scharfenberger, and Richmond has the lead back. Spiders up 3-2.
Yeah, good little move there at about 10. Little hitch move. Goes off stick side to beat Scharfenberger. Give them their second lead of the day, right? Second or?
Yep. Had the 1-0 advantage. And they fought back. Hoy's had a couple of chances to make it a 2-goal game. Carson Milburn out at the dot.
Carson always seems to come in and give James a break sometime, and I don't want to jinx him, but he seems to always come in and win the face-off.
Yeah, Milburn, that's one thing you can tell Kevin Warren trying to work on a little more is going with some depth that he trusts. Make sure he gets his guys a break, and almost taken away there as DORDEVIC getting a little loose with the stick. He didn't draw contact.
I like the way the Hoyas, they swarmed the ball right there, though, Jeremy. That's something, if you lose the face-off, don't give up on it right away.
Loose ball.
And we're going to come up with possession. Nope.
And it'll go out as McGarren couldn't save it. That was another one where Vigu had kind of drifted up. Hoyas get that. They would have had a chance maybe at an open net. Instead, the Spiders can be deliberate here. Trying to take a 2-goal lead and put the Hoyas on skates a bit. Georgetown, with 2 home games so far this year, have lost them both. Close game with Penn, then kind of got run over by Notre Dame, but at this point, who hasn't? Except for Maryland, they played a classic. O'Neal looking for 3, held up by Hess. Down to 15 on the shot clock.
Another good defensive stand right here by the Hoyas.
Young, crossfield pass, knocked away again by Halpert. And can he gain control? And they'll call a shot clock violation, so the Hoyas will get to start under control.
I know Coach Warren really enjoys that, Jeremy. A good defensive stand right there leads to a turnover and a Hoya possession.
And that actually ended up being a bit of a break for the Hoyas, as trying to pick it up could never get it cleanly. That looked like a turnover waiting to happen, as that's wide of the cage and stays with the Hoyas as CROGAN fires one past Vigu.
That's a good take. He got the alley, had a step on his man. That's the kind of shot, Jeremy. It's either going to hit that top corner or it's going to go out of bounds, and Hoyas retain possession.
DORDEVIC was there. Here's MINICUS. Out there as the double comes, trying to find a friendly. Nice swim. In front, looking for Haley.
It's going to be a push.
So that'll keep with the Hoyas and resets the shot clock to 60.
Good idea, but the pass kind of handcuffed TJ that time. Luckily, push by the Spiders leads back to a Hoya possession.
There's DORDEVIC again. Shoots, and Vigu able to make the save, try to go 5-hole.
You know, I think he kind of guessed on that, Jeremy, but he guessed right. That DORDEVIC was going to go low.
Richmond again will try to build on that 1-goal lead. Popped up into the air, but somehow ends up back with Richmond now thrown away. Sheridan trying to chase it down. He will. So back-to-back plays that could have been disaster, but Grayum ended up with one of them, and then Sheridan able to track the other down.
Ball's been on the ground quite a bit today, Jeremy. A little sloppy play by both teams.
Getting in this one if you're Richmond. The longer you stay in this game, obviously the better they got to feel. Shot and a score as Grayum puts it away and gives the Spiders a 2-goal lead.
Not sure what's going on inside there, Jeremy, but again, he had a guy wide open at about the 10-yard mark, just off the crease, playing high like you should when your attackman goes behind the goal. But boy, he didn't have a stick on him right there.
So Milburn back out for the face-off for the Hoyas. You have to wonder, is there something wrong with Riley?
Yeah, he looked like he was, hurting a little bit earlier.
Right now Riley kind of standing off behind the coaches. So tough to tell if he picked up an injury or just going with a different look. But right now, Richmond looking to break out after another face-off win. Chenoy, a guy that has done some good things for them. And that win over Mercer was 8 of 10 on his face-offs, which you gotta love if you're Coach Chamati.
Yeah, Coach was talking about not having, proper prep time, to get ready for the Hoyas.
A little tight on that pass and gets by Young. Yeah, they've had a weird schedule this year, which he kind of bemoaned a little bit. As the Hoyas in transition. Leary thinking about it. He takes it, and that'll go off of Vigu, stays with Georgetown.
Good little patience right there. Halpert, drew his man. Leary had that 10-yard shot. Jeremy, I'd take that one every day. We know Leary can score big goals, don't we?
Oh, we do. Had that huge one against Villanova a few years back, coast to coast, late in the game. Helped the Hoyas avoid the upset. DORDEVIC shoots and saved by Vigu.
It's a great outlet pass.
Fast break and fumbled away as Graham was out in front. Richmond blows the opportunity. Now the Hoyas will look to cut down the deficit.
That's when they're going to look at film, Jeremy, and I hate that one. That's like dropping a easy touchdown pass.
And Georgetown will take a timeout. We will as well. Richmond up 4-2. Hoyas looking to get a little closer after we get back to the Hilltop. And then played a midweek game against Mercer on Tuesday.
Right.
Back against the Hoyas. They'll have a week off, then play St. John's on the 25th. And then in their A-10 schedule, they go back to playing every Saturday. So Coach Chamati did say, look, it's kind of the way we had to build things, but it was a weird thing where we could never kind of get that consistency of preparation when it came to days and timing and all that. So eventually they'll get back to that once the A-10, the inaugural A-10 campaign kicks off.
Well, it's twofold there too, Jeremy. You play Maryland, you play Virginia, you play Georgetown. You do it for recruiting purposes, and you do it to toughen you up when you do hit that A-10 schedule. I mean, kids want to play the best teams, and they've definitely upped their schedule this year.
Shot and a goal, cannon and blast from Declan McDermott. Hoyas cut the deficit down to 1.
McDermott just had a cannon that time from the outside.
6th goal this season for Declan. Last week had his first hat trick of the year. So getting back into the scoring punch. And Riley back out there in a wrestling match, and that'll be against the Hoyas. So Richmond ball. Kevin Warren can't believe it.
That could have been a hold either way, Jeremy. That just looked like your favorite sport there, pro wrestling.
Yeah, Kevin Warren can't believe it.
Can't argue with that.
You talk about it all the time, how much contact, not only on the wings, but even at the dot. We get now.
Well, the refs don't want to interrupt the flow of play, Jeremy. See, they're not going to call penalty a lot of times. They want the guys those three on three to figure it out themselves, not have a ref's call determine possession.
Up to the top, not there for Young. Hoy's done a pretty good job on Young so far.
Let's keep an eye on inside too on that crease again to see. That's where their looks have been coming from.
Young with 3 turnovers already, just 1 assist. Shot and a bounce in goal by Aidan O'Neill. The freshman has been fabulous so far today.
I think that's one Mike would like to have back. It was almost, falling down a kind of a change-up, too. It wasn't the hardest shot in the world, but it just caught Scharfenberger off guard.
10th of the season for O'Neill, 3rd of the game. And
heck of a freshman, Jeremy.
Most definitely. And Aidan O'Neill has come in. He's had a goal in all 6 of his games, but he's only had 1. Today he's really turned it up with 3 goals so far. Now bidding for another, Chenoy, and that'll be another goal, as that is Derrek Madonna. And now Richmond firing on all cylinders, and Georgetown's going to take a timeout. Kevin Warren's seen enough. His team trailing by 3. Second of the game for Derrek Madonna. Richmond flying high in our nation's capital. So Riley back to the dot. Chenoy has gone all the way for Richmond. One point kind of thought they might have a few more guys in that mix, but DeCenzo did take a pair of face-offs last game against Mercer earlier this week, and that'll be a violation on Chenoy. So Hoya ball and what feels like a really big possession. What are you going to here, Earl, if you're the Hoyas?
Well, again, I'd like to see them attack these short stick middies. You got Jacob Kelly, too. He's going to draw a short stick. Actually, Jacob right now is drawing a long stick.
CARROLL into the game. This is
Aidan's been good. Aidan's been good for us so far this year, but MINICUS' speed, let's get him involved in the offense. Got his guy hung up.
MINICUS back out and almost taken away. Still loose, and there's CARROLL. Big ground ball pickup. A little bit of unsettled situation here. Can the Hoyas take advantage of it?
And a good play by him right there, too. Moving the ball out, moving it out of a ground ball, Jeremy. The defense is scrambling. Come up with that ball. He's got his man beat.
Shot and a goal. Aidan CARROLL with a big one for the Hoyas to blunt some of that Richmond momentum. It's now Richmond 6, Hoyas 4.
No, we see the primetime stuff. Comes in and scores a goal. Coach looks and says, hey, let's give him another run, guys.
And CARROLL's a guy that really was a scout teamer for the first 2 years of his career. And Kevin Warren even said, look, one of the good things about Aidan is he gives a lot of these guys hope that maybe don't come in as touted freshmen, that if you work hard and get the job done, you're going to get in and play, and that's going to go off the pipe.
Ooh.
And it'll stay with Richmond.
People think that was a goal, Jeremy.
Yeah.
We don't have benefit of replay right there. I don't know. That was a close one. It moved the goal. Looked like the net might have moved a little bit too.
Yep. Hoyas might have caught a big break there, as Richmond could have reestablished that 3-goal lead. But instead they say it goes cleanly off the orange. And it stays at 2 for Richmond. And this Richmond, a tournament team last year, loose ball.
Wow.
And Halpert comes up with it. He'll find Godine. And now the Hoyas look like they'll get out of trouble.
That was a great ground ball by Halpert right there, Jeremy. In traffic.
Shot, and that's wide, but a good backup by MINICUS.
Yeah, I like that shot, Jeremy. Defense, again, they have numbers right there. Going to get a timeout by Richmond.
Yep, Dan Chamati going to take a timeout. We will as well, as the Hoyas starting to come on. They trail by 2, but have some momentum here on the hilltop.
St. Joe's a little bit of a surprise so far this Jeremy. They've had a great season. They lost to Penn the other night in overtime. Big Sam scored an overtime goal against them. They're having a great season.
Yeah, of course, right there in Philly, another lacrosse crazy area. And again, you've proven that over the years. When you look at Maryland and Baltimore, how many good teams you can have in one spot, that it's not exclusive. There's a lot of kids to go around.
And Philly produces there's a lot of great high school lacrosse in the Philly area.
Here's DORDEVIC.
Short stick matchup.
Oh. Goes almost beat Vigu. But Vigu up to the challenge on that one. Keeps it out of the back of the net.
Hoya's offense doing a little bit more movement here than they have been early in the game.
MINICUS And again off a body in front. And they'll chase it down. It'll stay with Georgetown. And now the officials are going to talk about this because it looked like it hit a defender, not the goalie.
You can see the reset the clock.
I think they might actually take it down since it never got to net because it definitely hit the body. I think it hit Romano in front. So, yeah, they're going to take down the clock to 51 seconds.
Okay.
Still Hoya ball. Solomon going to work. And Vigu with another save. And loose ball. Saunders tries to pick it up. Eventually does. And still loose. And booked over. Vigu gets it. He'll shovel it away. And he needs to get back into net. Now eventually Spiders get themselves loose. And they'll come up the field. So a nice stand from the Richmond defense that their fans are very appreciative of.
It was a great job by Saunders. He knew he couldn't come up with a ground ball, Jeremy, so he did what a lot of times we call hockey. He just brushed the ball out to the side where Vigu was able to come up with it.
Sheridan taking his time. Another youngster in the lineup for Richmond. Sheridan, obviously O'Neill today with 3 goals. Jack Pilling seeing some good time as well for the Spiders this year. Trying to get their 3-goal lead back. Richmond has come out very well, and they will. What a shot and a find as Lance Madonna puts it away. Richmond back up by 3, 7-4.
A great little look inside there. I didn't really see how Madonna scored that goal. Just a little flick, just a little quick stick in.
Yep, just coming through and got it to him. And again, it's one of the things that we saw last year with the Hoyas that really isn't part of their offense this year, but other teams against them burn them as that quick pass and score on the doorstep. And you mentioned it all game long, Earl. They can't seem to keep that clear as CROGAN comes in. Came out of nowhere to pick that one up. Now DORDEVIC just gives that Hoya team a burst of speed that they don't really have. He's getting a lot of playing time now.
He's the quickest guy on the field for the Hoyas. That's saying something when you got DORDEVIC. MINICUS has his guy beat.
And another save by Vigu and ends up in the stick of Smith. And now Richmond got a couple of one-and-done possession against the Hoyas. They can really give themselves some breathing room here. Chance here. Now Tomanovic comes in and Nugent has to retreat to safety. And Richmond will get set up. Young, and that's making this performance all the more impressive as Young has been held in check today. He's turned it over 3 times. And
he's been more than happy to be a distributor, Jeremy, right now with that matchup against Bowen.
Yeah, Bowen shutting him down. Of course, he's got a nice contingent here from his high school, John Champ.
Yeah, went down and said hi to their coach and thanked him for coming and said we'd give him a little shout out to John Champ out in it's really in Chantilly, Virginia, which is funny because they're in Loudoun County, but good young program out there. Great facility they have. They have a beautiful stadium, 2 turf fields.
Now don't shortchange Aldi, Virginia, because I think that's technically where it might actually be.
Yeah, I think you're right. Dalton's address is Chantilly.
And that's a shot clock violation, so the Hoyas come up big on the defensive end when they need to. Getting down 4. Now right here, and taken away. Bad pass and a great play by Graham, and now Richmond can get that 4-goal lead before the half.
So Richmond out of timeouts right here, so they're going to have to make their subs and make their changes on the fly here.
These guys have played together at least at some point. So there is some kind of frequency, guys on the same wavelength, that they have to do it on their own without help from Coach Giamatti.
Yeah, they're running like a little 1-4-1 offense, Jeremy, and you know they're moving the inside guys around. They're driving from the top, and then they replace. They play a little two-man game with a pick right here. They're just looking for what they think's the best matchup, and they're obviously taking the clock down here too.
That's one thing Coach Giamatti said, kind of the offensive flow with them, and his philosophy is guys getting good one-on-one matchups and winning them. O'Neal already with 3 today. Shot, that's saved by Scharfenberger, and comes up with it. 20 seconds. Hoyas, if they hurry, can get a play here. Big hit. No call as Leary, now a second big hit on Madonna. Behind the play, they're going to let this play out as Madonna's down and eventually gets back up, and Grayum won't get a shot off. So that's how we end the half. A pair of big hits. Leary goes down, and then Madonna looks like he might be worse for wear on it as he's going to limp off. We'll see how that affects the second half, but Richmond with a 3-goal lead. We pause here in our nation's capital. Overs to Richmond have not affected them. Hoyas have only turned it over 3 times, but unable to take advantage of all those Richmond miscues. We'll see if they can do it in the second half as it's time to get going. Hoyas, we mentioned before, had a big win over Princeton and what looked like a manageable schedule coming up with High Point next week and then Lehigh after that. Then, of course, the big matchup against Denver, which might just decide the Big East championship eventually when they get to the tournament. But, yeah, will be interesting to see what the Hoyas can do here, but coming back and getting a win would be huge for Coach Warren's bunch, and it'll be another win for Richmond as they come away with it.
Again, kind of a 50-50 ball, and a short stick from the right side here comes up with that ground ball.
Joe Gooley, see him on the wings. And that was one thing where the Hoyas have struggled a little bit this year, is on wing play, where they've been very good in the past, and kind of helping out, making that a 3-on-3 unit. We talk about it all the time. The Hoyas might have been at the forefront of that, making it a 3-on-3 game, just trying to find a way to beat Denver. And some of their great face-off guys, and now kind of turned against them a little bit with a pretty solid face-off man of their own right, and Young will bounce it in. So Young will make his appearance after a somewhat shaky first half. He scores the first goal of the second half, and now it's Richmond 8, Georgetown 4.
Again, they found a guy right there on the doorstep. That was just a great effort by Dalton Young right there, Jeremy. He had a man draped all over him, caught kind of a high pass and was able to kind of quick stick it in. That's, you know, as a coach, I always thought first goal of the third quarter was huge. And that's just not what the Hoyas wanted to see right there, scoring 1 minute, less than 1 minute in.
McGurran comes up with it and kind of pitches it forward, and Riley eventually grabs it, somehow keeps it. Good play by Riley, and eventually gets it off to DORDEVIC, and now the Hoyas can set up their offense. Goals.
Good decision right there by DORDEVIC. Jeremy thought about it for a second, but they need a good possession and get a good shot on Cage here.
DORDEVIC, Bundy, McDermott, and CARROLL with the goals for the Hoyas. There's a shot, and the freshman puts himself on the board. Patrick CROGAN with a goal. Cuts the deficit down to 3, 8-5 Richmond.
You saw that, Jeremy. They cleared the side for CROGAN. He went right-handed, got a step on his man, pulled it back to his left hand. That's what CROGAN does so well, Jeremy. His first step is really quick. He's really good at protecting his stick also. Maybe that gives the Hoyas a little spark right here.
The 4th goal of the season for Patrick CROGAN. And the Hoyas hoping that's a little bit of a momentum boost. Now a different look at the face-off dot. And push will be called. That'll be Hoya ball as Wilson Van Buren, the freshman face-off man out of Roswell, Georgia, took that one. So Kevin Warren going deep into the back pocket for his Fogos.
You know, why not? Let's give everybody a shot. I've said this a million times to you, Jeremy. It's different face-off guys get different looks, have different techniques. Sometimes they work.
Shot, that's over top of the cage. It'll stay with Georgetown with 62 seconds left on the clock.
Bundy took a little bit of a hit there after that shot. He came up limping a little bit.
Yeah, this game, had a chance to talk to Patrick Stevens last week at the CAA basketball tournament. Of course, Patrick, kind of a lacrosse bracketology guru, as that's another one. MINICUS with a goal. Hoyas with 2 quickies. They've got back into this game now. Richmond 8, Hoyas 6.
Well, what the Hoyas, they've done the similar thing on both goals right here, Jeremy. They cleared the side from MINICUS. Again, with his great wheels, makes a little move. You know, I thought Viggy was guessing a little bit in the first half on low shots right there. At that time, he did go low, and we scored a goal. So coming back to the face-off dot, important for Riley to keep the momentum going.
Earl, is this a little bit of almost like in basketball, the clear-out play? I'm going to put my good guard against the guy who can't guard him.
Exactly right. And MINICUS is really quick as we battle for the face-off here.
Hess picks it up, then gets undercut. Loose ball still.
Danger zone.
Scharfenberger picks it up as Young all over him.
Great play by Michael not to run back in the crease there, Jeremy. He couldn't step in the crease. That'd be a in-and-out call.
Hess will get it across.
Hess took a shot right there, Jeremy. No call by the officials. It didn't look like it was up high, but Dylan's a tough guy, so he bounced right back up.
I think what partially hurt him as well, there was a guy underneath on the ground that he kind of fell over top of after he got hit. Kind of the old schoolboy technique. Here's CROGAN, open look again. This time they collapse in. DORDEVIC, can he get loose? He does, and he scores. Hoyas with 3 in a row. It's now a 1-goal game.
Hoyas sideline going crazy down there, Jeremy. They're just attacking right now. I mean, there's nothing else you could say.
So here's the thing: as you, the old lacrosse coach, me, the more of a neophyte, it looks like the Hoyas may just be playing, saying, "Heck with scheme, let's go athletes."
Yeah, they're finding the best matchup. You're exactly right. They're finding the best matchup right here, and they're taking that first step, Jeremy. And they're driving to the goal. Maybe something they should have been doing earlier in the game.
So stopping the bleeding for now as Chenoy gets the face-off win. Now DORDEVIC trying to get it back. Can't do it. Looks like he broke his stick. So Tucker will come off.
You know, Chenoy being a tough guy, tough face-off guy here. I think Coach mentioned he lost a little weight maybe in the offseason, but he's taken every single one, Jeremy. That could weigh on him later in the fourth quarter.
So Hoyas quickly back into this one. Richmond scored the first goal of the third quarter, and then the Hoyas have come storming back with 3 in a row. Something we didn't see some of their early games. Couldn't get on a run. They have here. Here's Derrek Madonna. He's got 2 today. Pass in front, wide open, and Merklinger scores. Hoyas befuddled by that Richmond offense, and the Spiders stop the Hoya Mo.
Again, finding that inside guy, Jeremy. There was a little pick off ball right there. He came flying off that pick, wide open, good look, easy finish.
Merklinger, a guy that his coach, Dan Chamati, says is kind of that do-it-all, two-handed, can play attack or mid. Really a key utility guy for them. And clamp there, and that'll be Richmond ball. Hoyas had it moving, but right now Richmond can get right back to a 3-goal lead.
We just need a big defensive stop right here, Jeremy. One that sort of what they had in the first half when they ran the shot clock down. Need a good stand here.
And Hoyas have caused turnovers today, but it really hasn't affected the Richmond offense all that much. There's only one that I can remember that kind of led to a good breakout chance, and that's thrown away, but Madonna is there, able to keep it. Here's Alpaw. Working in. And now it's Spiders content just to go around the perimeter a little bit. Here's Young. Finds his man. Still has it. That's some good stick work there by Welty. Now finally comes loose. McGurran will get it back in, and the Hoyas get that defensive stop they were looking for. Hess will get it across.
Wow, he leaned into that guy, Jeremy. Absorbed the hit, still maintained possession. You can see there's a little football background there.
Hess, a heck of an athlete, just out of the Jacksonville area.
Beautiful part of the country, huh? Ponte Vedra.
Yep. That's for the headquarters of the PGA Tour.
Yep.
McDermott thought about it, now keeps it.
Good pass up. He didn't have his offensive mid. Here's an open look.
And Kelly goes wide of the cage. Hoyas getting a little out of the box, getting funky and befuddling the Spiders on that one. Kevin Warren didn't like something on that shot or on that play. He was very demonstrative to his team. Luckily, they keep possession.
Short stick matchup for DORDEVIC here.
And saved.
Stick side, easy save for the goalie that
Loose
time.
ball, but picked up. And Richmond still loose. And MINICUS comes up with it, so the Hoyas get it back.
That's one thing you like to see, Jeremy. Turnover, but then you ride your tail off there to get the ball back and maintain possession. Look, that could be a big play in this game.
So not a transition chance off the turnover, but a chance to maybe tire out the defense for Richmond. Here's BUNDY. Haley. They'll give it back.
Good
Pass
ball
in front,
movement.
chance here. BUNDY, and it's saved. What a save by Vigu. Still loose. Pass across the crease. Shot. This one saved again by Vigu. 2 in a row. Huge saves for the Richmond goalie.
Man, guy's on fire, Jeremy.
Zach Vigu. So they had a couple big stops at the end of the Fairfield game to help them get through that one.
He's taking a couple body shots too, Jeremy. He's feeling it, but you know he'll feel those later today. He's not feeling them right now.
Yeah, Vigu, sizable goalie, 6 foot, 200 pounds. Got a little beef on him, but
I
he's
think
also.
that might be being kind, huh?
But I tell you what, he also has got some great stick work too.
He does. He's great on the clears as well. He's done a great job in the clearing game today. I think they only have one bad clear in the first half.
So let's see if that turns momentum. A pair of great scoring chances for the Hoyas go by the wayside because of the work of Vigu. Here's Merklinger. He has a goal. Double team comes, gets away from it. Young has to hold up. Getting down to 20 seconds on the shot clock. O'Neal, 3 first half goals. And take it away. Halpert in the passing lane picks it. Up ahead. Nothing there, and DORDEVIC will settle in.
Yeah, he missed Halpert. Would have been a chance, though. Would have taken a little bit of chance to make that pass there. He had Halpert. Got an offsides call, I think.
So that's going to go on Richmond. So the Hoyas will have their chance here.
You know, an offsides or an illegal sub coming out of the box, Jeremy. Not sure which, but flag is down. It's our first flag of the day, I believe, isn't it?
And a shot and a goal for Tucker DORDEVIC. And the Hoyas back within 1. And they wave the penalty off on the DORDEVIC goal. And Hoyas back into it, only down 1.
Yeah, big goal by DORDEVIC right there. I mean, any goal going forward now is going to be a big goal. The officials realized that, okay. The officials look like they're ready to have the face-off, and we still had guys on the field here.
Yeah, we mentioned it before. Last year, Hoyas really had the lead the entire time, but Richmond had it within 2 goals a couple minutes into the fourth quarter.
I'm interested to see that he's called Riley for clamping down on the ball right there, but you know, you're allowed to clamp down on the ball. You have reasonable time to pull it out, but a little surprised by that.
So Richmond, benefits there. Let's see if they can take advantage.
They like O'Neal on this. They've given him the green light all day, Jeremy.
Just a freshman, but he is a talented freshman. There's Young, back to O'Neal. Young pretty much has been a non-factor as Bowen has had the guard on him today. Here comes Young, and Thought he shot it, kept it in the stick somehow.
Good decision by Young right there. He's going to come off the field right now. He took a hit to the hip, I think.
So I'll have to watch that. Leading scorer for Richmond out of the game. Still a lot of time on the shot clock. In front and a goal as Joe Sheridan puts it in the back of the net. And again, a 2-goal lead for Richmond.
Richmond goal.
Richmond just doing a great job of finding the cutters, finding the open guy. And if you've noticed too, Jeremy, all the passes that their attack or their middies have made to the guy that scored, they've been right on.
Yep.
They've been right into the little box we like to call the 1-by-1 there. And so it's an easy finish.
If you're the Hoyas, do you swap up the defense at all?
I don't think you're so quick to slide, for one thing, and you just got to tell your guys, we got to get a stick on stick. And when the goalie calls a stick check, to throw a stick check.
Clean win by Chenoy. Hoyas get back on defense. Chenoy has come on strong today. Hoyas have tried to throw a few different looks at him, and he's seemingly beat them all.
You know, face-off guys watch film, Jeremy, and they watch what works. You know, just like baseball, they know what the guy's throwing. He seems to have figured out Riley here so far this game, and he's done an outstanding job.
That one was against Van Buren, but he's seen Milburn as well, so the Hoyas normally don't go that deep in their face-off rotation, but have today as Chenoy has really taken it to them. Here's Derrek Madonna. Back behind O'Neal. Now Bowen working on him with Young out of the game, and whistle will blow. Legal screen, that's the Hoya ball. Long pass up to Halpert. He'll ditch it back to Leary, who'll slow things down as the Hoyas get their subs on. Last week, that win against Princeton, 13-10. And a big one, a lot of folks saw kind of season saver. This Georgetown with a 5-game homestand coming up, all against teams you think likely would be favored against. Here's Bundy trying to get free. Now McDermott loses it. Picked back up. Bundy saves his bacon. Nice guard by Pilling. Bundy. And Bundy scores. Graham Bundy hits the back of the net. And Hoya's back within one.
Yeah, great little move by Graham up top there, where he's really comfortable, Jeremy. He's been a midi for this time here, his 3 years here at Hoyas. With the Hoyas, he's been playing some attack today, but he gets his guy up top where he's really comfortable. Downhill dodger is Graham. Makes a great move there to get the Hoyas back within one.
Yeah, Bundy's interesting story, of course, was with the national team in Ireland, captained that team in the summertime, and then they kind of gave him some rest time in the fall as the officials don't call the penalty. Georgetown bench can't believe it as Riley had his stick held the entire time. McGarren tried to save it, and they're going to say that's Richmond ball, and Kevin Warren is saying, what can we do, guys?
If anything, it was a loose ball hold, Jeremy. That should have been the call. But again, 3-on-3 scrum, refs don't call anything.
And I know you say that a lot, but it feels like that's more pushing and shoving that they do seem to get you grab the guy's stick. It becomes a penalty or becomes a violation.
Exactly.
That one looked pretty clear that Riley's stick was being impeded and knocked away. Good defensive play there. Again, it's Tomanovich there to get in. Let's see if the Hoyas go to goal. Chance here, shot, and it'll be saved as Leary tried to tie it up.
And give credit, great save. Great play by Tomanovich, getting it up and over, getting Leary open right there.
DORDEVIC almost gets it, but O'Neal ends up with the ball and gets it across.
And if you're Chamati here, you want to give your defense a little break here, Jeremy, give for a longer position. They've been dragging their middies behind all day. And with the exception, of O'Neal, these other middies are just looking to draw. They're coming around and looking to get that slide on them. and then try to find the open man, which they've done today well. They've done it well.
Madonna, nice pass. Movement, and that's wide of the cage. Big hit in front. No call, and now 31 seconds on the timer.
Yeah, I think the refs have decided today they're not calling much.
There's not. I believe that only that one penalty we've had so far today.
And that was a non-contact kind of thing. That was just more of a mental mistake.
Body hit in front, so timer doesn't reset. Down to 15 seconds. Here's O'Neal. Trying to get loose on Hess. Not a lot of room, and thrown away. Still loose. And
guy's playing without a stick, okay.
Yep, so the Hoya ball. Now the Hoyas again will have a chance to tie this one up. Hess trying to get it across. He does, as Young gave him a little bit of resistance, but not enough. So Georgetown, about a 4-second difference shot to game clock. You can take it all the way down if they choose to. Right now, though, Hoyas playing at a pace that might be better to go ahead and now wide of the cage. It'll stay with the Hoyas. Still 40.
Nobody's on MINICUS right now.
He'll shoot, and that's off the pipe. In front, chance, and a score! And finally, there's the TJ Haley we've been waiting for all season long, Earl. He finds DORDEVIC on the doorstep, and we got a tie game.
That's a great job. You know, the ball ricochets back to him off that. He comes up cleanly. He's got his head up. Throws a great pass right there to tie this thing up.
Good as an assist you're going to find. Finds DORDEVIC, and we're tied at 10 here in D.C. Chenoy trying to get the win here, and it'll be picked up, that thrown away, and now get back on as GODINE comes up with it. Hoyas can take the lead before the end of the quarter.
Got a 5-on-5 here.
DORDEVIC, that's going to go off the pipe, but gathered back in. And GODINE came up with it. So now the Hoyas going to slow down a little bit, but don't have much time. Only 15 seconds left in the quarter.
And this is probably the matchup you want.
DORDEVIC. Double comes. He shoots over the top and ends up in the crease. So that'll be Richmond ball with 5 seconds to go. They'll whip it down the field over top of everything.
Wow,
and
it's going to go through the goalpost.
That'll take us to the fourth quarter, and the Hoyas have come alive here in the third. It's 10-10 in D.C. Come on back for an exciting fourth here in our nation's capital.
Richmond in the A10, Hoyas in the Big East. As there's a win for Riley. Now the Hoyas can take their first lead since the first quarter.
And they've got him trapped on the field right now, too. And that's something, Jeremy, too, we overlook. You get your face-off man trapped on the field. Try to keep him on the field as long as you can. Wear him down a little bit. And Halpert's still out there as a long pole. You go and pick for your man.
DORDEVIC, nothing there. And eventually now they'll get off.
See, that's I'm sorry, Jeremy, but that wears on him. He just had a 40-yard sprint there. You know, that kind of stuff wears on you later in the game.
Here's MINICUS, back out. DORDEVIC, that'll go off the pipe, resets the timer, and BUNDY picks it up. And that shot is wide by McDermott. Hoyas will keep it with 54 seconds left on the timer.
He'd like to have that one back. Wide open shot from 10.
MINICUS. Big game last week against Princeton, and did that go in? It did. Brian MINICUS with the wraparound beats Big U. Hoyas with their first lead since the first quarter. They're up 11-10.
Know that?
MINICUS, a guy that Coach Warren has said whatever we ask him to do, he says no problem. Of course, maybe it has something to do with his mother. His mother, as that's thrown away by Richmond, and that is going to be Hoya ball. So the Hoyas will have a chance to put two back-to-back here. As Richmond, that kind of cool demeanor they've had the entire game, starting to melt away a little bit.
Again, let's see if CROGAN loves this short stick matchup that he got. Both face-off guys are still on the field, Jeremy.
And thrown away. That was a bad pass as Haley was there wide open. The Hoyas let a golden opportunity to take a 2-goal lead go by the wayside. Again, we don't know the Richmond team as well as the Georgetown team, but we know Riley's got some midfielder skills. That matchup probably was in the Hoyas' favor if both face-off guys were on the field still.
Yeah, he could be a face-off. I mean, he could be a regular midi in a lot of programs, Jeremy. He's got a good stick. He's got a great shot. Just an overall really good athlete.
So that turnover hurts extra for the Hoyas there. It had a golden opportunity to make it 2. Instead, their defense will try and buckle in and keep the 1, which they cannot do, as Sheridan comes up with a big goal to tie it back up at 11.
Yeah, he got a step on Hess that time. Went down the alley. Big left-handed shot for Sheridan. Is he another freshman?
He is. Sheridan, the freshman out of Westchester, Pennsylvania, from Power Malvern Prep. Richmond back into a knotted up game, and again, that lacrosse, one play can swing things, and Hoyas with an unforced error, and now Richmond has a chance to take the lead right back. Chenoy gets it off, shot, that's going to hit a body in front. Tomanovic wins the race. Can he keep it? He does as he gets to safety. And thrown away, almost picked off. That would have been an easy goal for Madonna. Instead, it gets to Bowen.
It was a little dangerous. Luckily, it made it through.
That's your pick 6 right there, Earl. We saw that a bunch this year with the Georgetown football team. They took a few back. That would have been an easy one for Derrek Madonna.
You know, defensemen, that's one thing they practice so many times, Jeremy, is cross-field passes, being able to throw them on a rope. That one died a little bit, but it did get through.
Here's DORDEVIC. Nothing there. He'll kick it back out to BUNDY. MINICUS. There's Kelly. Still 30 on the timer. BUNDY has it taken away. DORDEVIC can't pick it up. And Saunders with the ground ball. Richmond coming back down, looking to take the lead. A couple of untimely turnovers for the Hoyas of Richmond, who was reeling, get back on their feet.
You can't miss easy ground balls like that, too. That's something in film study you'll look at, and, you know, that's basically a turnover by not coming up with that ground ball.
And the little things, the fundamentals, so key. And we saw kind of the Hoyas switching up their pregame warm-up today, doing some more fundamental-type drills, and that has been an emphasis. Getting back to basics. Richmond crowd, well represented here, cheering for their group. Trying to get a goal. Shot, that's wide of the cage. Richmond will retain possession. 27 seconds left on the timer.
Yeah, they're not afraid to let O'Neal go, Jeremy. He's taken behind the goal. He's got a long stick on him right now with Halpern.
Here's Grayum. Down to 15 on the timer. O'Neal almost bobbles it away. And back over Sheridan. And with the tying goal moments ago. Sheridan gets it off. Madonna shoots, saved by Scharfenberger. Loose ball. Kicked away. They try and hockey puck it up as Halpern can't. Timer is reset. And a timeout by Richmond. We'll take a timeout as well. Spiders got some bounce back in their step as they've tied the game back up, looking for the go-ahead as we're knotted up at 11 here in D.C.
Back in D.C., Richmond trying to pull off the upset. Georgetown ranked 20th in both polls this week. Richmond unranked, receiving votes. But the Spiders definitely raised their profile. Again, it's an interesting schedule for Richmond this year in their wins. Against competition they're better than. They took care of business in their 2 losses, were obliterated by Virginia, which Coach Giamatti kind of admitted to. He said, look, that's a monster down there in Charlottesville. We just didn't have our best day. Lost in that early game against Maryland by 11 goals. But looking to take down a talented Georgetown team today.
He's pressing out a little bit on defense on this first rotation. Let's see if Middy's dragged behind again. We're going to play up top right now.
Sheridan comes right down Broadway and scores. Just too easy if you're Kevin Warren, and he stares out of his defensive group, and you know that's got to hurt Coach Warren to his heart to watch his guys give up a goal like that.
Yeah, it was nothing fancy there, Jeremy. It's just a midi up top, kind of in a 1-4-1. Little split dodge, goes to the cage and shoots.
So Richmond back up by 1 after the Hoyas got on that hot run to take the lead. They've given up a pair to let Richmond take it right back, and now Chenoy kicking it ahead. Tomjanovich trying to get on it, and he does. And shoveled back. Scharfenberger's got to go real deep to get it. Hoya's going to get on the run here. Looks like they'll likely get the clear, but that was a precarious one. Here's Halpert. Finds McDermott. And now he'll fall down.
Turf monster got him.
And now a chance at a transition goal as Graham can't get it cleanly. Has it knocked away. Riley tries to get on it. He'll come out of the scrum with it right now. No room for anybody. And again, Kevin Moore looking for the cross-check. McDermott gets away from everyone. Big hit by Young as a flag goes down. And they will blow it dead. And Young, he can't believe it. He's saying to himself, look, of all the things that have gone uncalled today, why did that one get me in trouble?
Let's see if they just call a push with possession. I mean, it looked like it was from the side.
He got him good.
He did get him good. Let's see. Maybe it was up high. So we don't have the benefit of replay today. Illegal body check to the head.
Richmond crowd is up in arms, as is their bench. Dan Chamati all over the officials right now as Young will come off. So that is one that if you're the Hoyas, you really could use to take advantage to tie this one up.
And if you're the Hoyas here, yeah, you'd like to score quickly into this, Jeremy, to get another shot at it, but you don't want to give up this. You know, you got this whole minute possession here. You want to come out of this with a goal.
So DORDEVIC will start it off. He's out there with Bundy, McDermott, Haley, Solomon on the doorstep, and Kelly out there as well. So an experienced group. Can they find the equalizer?
Yeah, keep an eye on Solomon. He's been open a couple times. They're playing a 5-man rotation, Jeremy, and that leaves the
thrown away, and the Hoyas, they get possession back. Solomon with a big ground ball to save it.
Still got time. They need to slow down here, reset the offense.
Here's McDermott. Now down to 15 on the penalty, and that's a goal as Solomon comes away with it. Nicky Solomon, first of the game, third of the year. We're back knotted up. 12-12, Spiders and the Hoyas.
Now Solomon, you know what? I was looking for him on the crease to be open, Jeremy, but he gets a step down. This man backed off. You know, his man backed off, almost daring him to take that shot. And again, that's a perfect shot. He goes to the top right corner, stings it.
Coach Kevin Warren calls him a pure goal scorer, so that was a non-releasable. As Young tried to run out on the field, they call him back and say, get back to the box. You're there for another 13 seconds. So Hoyas, they can win the faceoff. We'll have a chance maybe at another man-up goal here. As Riley can't get it, loose ball, and ends up in the stick of Tomjanovich. Like the Spiders were going to get the win there, and said the Hoyas grab it. Penalty release, so back to even strength for both sides.
You know, you would have liked to have some more time, obviously, to play extra man, but that's not a bad result either. A lot of hustle on that face-off for the Hoyas to come up with that ground ball. So back on offense here. You know, hopefully a good offensive possession by the Hoyas. Here's a good matchup again.
It's Kelly sends it back to MINICUS. Work behind to Haley. And again, Hoyas can't get it. Loose ball, all kinds of pushing. Just letting them play, and eventually that's going to be Richmond ball. What's your view on that call there?
Yeah, I'll tell you off air. No, it was just a lot of scrum. There was a lot of pushing and shoving. You know, your helmet shouldn't come off, for one thing. That's one of the gripes I have of college lacrosse players. They don't button those chin straps aren't buttoned well, Jeremy. You see them, they take them on and take them off. I'd really like to see everybody button those things up a little more.
Again, Hoyas, their simple fundamentals have betrayed them the last couple possessions. The goal by Solomon almost didn't get to that point as they threw one away, and they're kind of an easy pass, not played well. O'Neal with a little stick to the head there by Donaldson. Refs let him go. Down to 33 on the timer. Sheridan trying to get loose, and Tomjanovich with another big pickoff. Now Young trying to force him out, and loose ball in the middle of everybody. McGarrener's going to come up with it. Back to Scharfenberger.
Gonna have to clear quickly here.
Only 7 seconds. Got to get it across. Hess has got to let it go, and he will get it across just in time.
Second to spare. That was a heck of a play down there by Tomjanovich. Coming up with that. He was in no man's land. He was getting pressured on the ride.
I'll tell you what, old Willie T has had himself a game today. A couple of big pickoffs on cross-field passes.
Yes, he's played really well today.
Here's CROGAN, the freshman, has 1 goal today. Give it off, DORDEVIC. A little bit of an open lane, kicks it back out, MINICUS. Solomon takes another one. That's going to hit off Vigu, and he saves it. Loose ball in front. Still loose. Shot, and it's a goal! Nicky Solomon finds the back of the net. Hoyas had the lead, 13-12.
Wow, just hard work there, Jeremy. Not giving up on the play. Vigu took one off the chest protector right there. That ball bounced back out. But just great hustle. Great hustle by Solomon there to stay with it, come up with the ground ball. Big goal for the Hoyas, put him back up by 1.
Kevin Warren giving the old coach hand clap, point right at Solomon. That's all you, buddy.
That's exactly right.
Here's a big face-off here. Chenoy gets a huge one for Richmond as they try to tie it back up. Madonna had a shot at it, thought better of it to go ahead and run through the offense. Feels like an absolutely huge possession. This thing has had all kinds of momentum swings. You can almost feel the air in the balloon go on each goal for each team.
Just watching each bench, you know, one bench is going crazy than the other. It's just been a fun game back and forth.
Richmond looking for some payback after last year, a game it looked like they had a good chance in to pull the upset. Just a downright nasty day for a couple of late goals. McDermott, BUNDY getting into the act down in the Virginia Capitol. Pass off here. Madonna almost lost it as Bowen came up. Point blank, bounced over top of the net, and that's going to stay with Richmond. 27 seconds left on the timer. If Sheridan had a chance for another, would have tied the game up. Sheridan already with a hat trick today. The freshmen have come up huge for Richmond. O'Neal and Sheridan both with 3 goals apiece. It's Madonna, gives it off, back to Sheridan. Sheridan against Tomjanovich. Here's Grayum. Graham spins off, double comes. Can he get rid of it? He somehow keeps it and loses control. That's a timer violation, Georgetown ball.
Good defensive stand there by the Hoyas.
So right now, here in DC, for years they talked about the Rigo drill. Run it out, finish the game off. You're the Hoyas. I don't know who would be the equivalent, but this might be the drill to go ahead and if you can have that long possession as they just get it across. Again, Hoyas in danger there, somehow get out of it, but 2-goal lead here wouldn't put the game away by any stretch, but you make Kevin Warren feel a lot better.
No, they're not going away, Jeremy. They're playing this to the very end. Again, let's find a short stick matchup here. You have MINICUS right now drawing that.
There's MINICUS.
Good decision.
To Haley, still 35 seconds to go on the timer. Haley, back to MINICUS. Richmond defense moving very well. DORDEVIC going to work. Gives it back out to Haley at the top. Haley finds a man in front, can't connect with him. Still a loose ball and eventually picked up as Richmond will go the other way.
Maybe a little force there. You never like to see a pass from out front to the crease like that where your guys got to turn around, Jeremy, catch it, turn around then and shoot. And he was open, though. I'll give Haley credit there. The man was open, but that's a tough feed.
Gooley just gets it across. And again, Richmond's going to take a timeout for a huge possession. 2:39 left to go here in our nation's capital. At least Georgetown trailing much of the game, trying to hold on against the game Richmond squad. Spiders will have possession. 56 seconds left to go on the timer. 2:39 in the game as Georgetown leads by 1.
The situation, Jeremy, don't take the first shot, take the best shot. Good possession here by the Hoyas. You don't really want that outside cannon here. You'd rather have like an assisted goal, something where the man comes from X, draws, finds an open man. I'd love to see another TJ Haley assist. How about that?
The Hoyas got to get the stop first as Richmond will start it off after the timeout. And the stick of Merklinger. Gonna work on Halpert.
And Sheridan, you see now Sheridan's drawing the pole now. He's been so effective as a Dodger.
Yeah, the freshmen have really led the way today. The Madonnas have somewhat been held in check, as has Young. Young gets loose off the screen, doesn't go in, kind of cycles back out. May have had a chance there. Here's Merklinger, down to 22nd on the timer, 27 on the timer, I should say. Here's Lance Madonna, swims through, finds a man in front, loose ball, paddled over. So Richmond doesn't lose it, down to 15 seconds though. Merklinger on Tomjanovich, shot wide of the cage, that'll stay with Richmond, 7 seconds left.
This is where you just got to clamp down defensively, Jeremy. Don't let anything get fed into that crease. That's what they're going to look for here.
Here's Young, nice spin through. Can he get the shot off? He's wide of the cage, and that is a shot clock violation. Great defense by the Hoyas.
Nice double team coming there on Young.
Richmond into their 10-man ride.
Hey, keep an eye on the goal. If that goalie drifts too far away.
Got to get it over in 10. Bundy runs into some traffic, but now he'll get around. Now the Hoyas can breathe a little easier. You can't run it all off. About a 21-second difference shot to game clock.
Yeah, he's still got that timeout in his pocket. Coach Warren does, I believe. So if a guy gets in trouble here, that's when you're going to use that timeout.
Here's DORDEVIC. Going to keep it in his stick for now. Trying to burn as much clock as he can.
Yeah, you like the matchup that he has right now. But look, we got the other 5 guys are in front of the cage right now, Jeremy. So you don't want to go and take that shot unless we have a backup.
Kevin Warren's
Here comes the double.
Kevin Warren's right at the 50, so you think he's going to call a timeout at some point here. He's almost on the field now.
Again, if he sees that double coming, chance for his player to get in trouble, then he's got him.
And DORDEVIC takes a shot over top of the cage, and now Kevin Warren's out on the field. I wonder if they're waiting for him to take a timeout as he's way outside the coaching box. And now Kevin Warren takes it. So takes it with 6 seconds to go. So interesting strategy there. What are you kind of thinking?
I like it. I'm going to put the ball in probably DORDEVIC's stick here, or what I think my best matchup is. I'm just going to tell him to go to the cage. I'm going to clear aside. Maybe you might even see CROGAN, MINICUS. Clear aside for that guy. Let him go one-on-one. And what you're going to hope here, if you don't score, you get a clock reset. If you get a clock reset, then you're probably going to be able to kill the rest of the time. You see that he's got Halpert out there. He's committed to – he's got Halpert and he's got Hess. He's got his 2 D middies right away. He's got Leary right here. So they're going to put it in MINICUS' hands. They might just have MINICUS just run, not even go to the cage.
And that's what he's going to do. Just throws it up in the air, and that'll be the violation. So 21 seconds to go. Hoyas have to play 20 seconds of defense to get the win.
It's the smart play, Jeremy. It's the smart play.
Here they come. Hoyas trying to ride, take some time down. Madonna gets it. Gets rid of it. Open man, and
offsides call on Richmond.
Wow.
Yeah, they got 7 guys over there, Jeremy.
Incredible. Out of the timeout, Richmond commits the offsides. They're talking it over, but Hoyas catch a late break. Hess is in the middle of everybody. He's going to run away, and Hess will run it out, throws it up in the air, and the Hoyas will celebrate as they survive Richmond 13-12. A big win for Georgetown to keep the momentum going after the huge win up at Princeton last week.